Hello, me again and another training video. Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to book a party. Um, well, how to set up a party, I should say, in your back office so it shows onto your website. This way it's easier for your hostesses to find their parties, to share their parties, and for their guests to order in that party. So it's really easy. What you want to do is log into TOT, that's 31today.com, and then go ahead and log in. And then, of course, it'll bring you to your 31 homepage. But if you want to come up here to your virtual office button. Okay, now this is your virtual office is your back office. We will, a lot of consultants will say that they call it their back office, or they'll say your virtual office. More likely, everybody says it's their back office. So, so when someone tells you go look in your back office, they're referring to your virtual office. So up here at the top, you have several icons. You have your home screen, parties, orders, incentives, contacts, reports. We are going to be working under the parties tab today. So you want to click parties. And here in this screen is going to be all the parties that you have scheduled. Now yours, since we are doing your first official party is going to be your launch party. So since we're doing your launch party, you probably won't have anything here. But as time goes on, this page will be full. So that's a good thing. And this is a good reference to have back here as well. So you're able to see your parties all in one screen instead of trying to, look back on your website and come back here. It's just nice how they have it all set up. So we're going to set up a new party, and we're going to click on the button that says new party. Okay, so it's going to bring up this screen here, and this is going to be your party information screen. So all you're going to have to do is just pretty much anytime there's a star next to something, that means it's required. That means you have to fill that in order to continue on to the next screen. So we're just going to do a mock party here. So we're going to put, I'll just pretend it's my launch party. So Heather's launch party, and you can name yours anything you want. You can get creative. I would say the more creative the better when scheduling your parties with the title. Just make sure they're not too long, because if they get too long, they'll get cut off on the website. So next to the party description, you don't have to put a party description if you don't want to, but it's kind of nice. I always try to put something kind of fun in that section, so it kind of gives them something to look at when they click on it. So here we'll go. I am starting a new path in life and want to share it with all of you. Oops, I can't spell it today. Okay, so now below, it's going to ask you what type of party is this. So we like for your launch party to actually have a home party. We think that's about the best thing to do, because then your customers can see the products up close. They can browse the catalogs. You can answer any questions you want. If it's your launch party, I can always be there via phone call, via Skype, via chat, video chat, if you don't feel, comfortable in doing it yourself. But there are several options under here. Home party, of course, is going to be a party in someone's home or in your home. Party on the go, that's where you're just pretty much your hostess is giving out catalogs and order forms. So, there's no really parties, you just set it up here and she's directing everybody to your website, or she's collecting orders on herself. Online, that's a Facebook party. I do a lot of Facebook parties just because most of the people I know live out of state, or most of them are busy and they just don't have the time to get everybody to their house or coordinate schedules. So a Facebook party or online party is, I think, about the easiest party to have. And I've had really success with it just because everybody trying to get together and coordinate schedules is hard sometimes, especially during the school year, especially during summer, especially when you have small kids. So I've had really good success with online parties. Catalog party. Again, this is kind of like party on the go. You're just giving your hostess a catalog, some order forms, and she's doing most of the work. Flash, those are flash sales. You've probably seen some of the flash sales. I don't do many of those. Some other girls on our team do a lot of those. I don't do them myself, but it's good to have here. And if you want to know more about flash sales, I will get with our leader Jillian and see if she can't help coordinate that too. Fundraisers, if you have kids in sports, or you want to do something for your church or a local community group, you would schedule that. Vendor events are where we're out in the community at a function, so at a race or a sporting event, where we're setting up an actual tent with our display items. So you can put that. So, but we're pretending we're doing a launch party, so we're just going to hit home party. And then next it's going to say, when is the party? So we're just going to put July 1st at 12 o'clock. Now, every time you select a different selection, that information is going to change. Like online, there it's going to say, when's the closing date? Catalog party doesn't, that's going to ask for the closing date. Flash sale, when is the closing date? Fundraiser, they want to know the actual party date. And vendor event's going to actually ask for the actual party date. So that, depending on what type of party you choose, when is the party format is going to change. But since we're doing a home party, it's only a one-day event, so they're wanting to know when we are going to do it. So we're, like I said, we'll just pick a date and we'll say July 1st. Okay, and then over here, we're gonna, this is just the hostess, your hostess, who is inviting you or who's wanting to throw a party. Since I'm doing this just for myself, I'm gonna pull my name up. Okay, all right. Now, it automatically fills in my information. Now, if you go up here under contacts, you can enter all the people that you want in here, or you can upload it. I did mine via Yahoo because I had most of my contacts in my Yahoo email, and I was able just to upload everything and kind of delete everybody I didn't want out. So this kind of fills it in. If you don't have your contacts set up, that might be one thing you would want to do, because also if you have their email address, that kind of gets them on your email distribution list. So I can, in the next video, I can kind of show you how to set up a contact in the contact screen. So now that all our information is here, it's already filled in for us. If you got something wrong, say the person moved, you can go ahead and edit the address. If your person doesn't have an email address, there are people out there that don't do email, or don't want to give it out. So you can click on use consultant email address, and that's going to use your email address. Then once everything is correct, you want to hit the save and continue button. And that's going to take us to our party screen. Now here's our party defaults. This is just saying this kind of overview. We're having a home party on the 1st at 12 p.m. The party ship to selection is going to be hostess normally. Now, say that your hostess is out of state. and she's collecting orders and you're collecting orders for her. The best thing to do is if they're not entering the order directly onto your website, say she hands you like 10, or she puts in like 10 order sheets, or and they just have names, or you just have names. Shipping to consultant would be your best option, because then that way you can divide it. I try to always do ship to consultant unless they go directly on the website and place the order, just so I'm able to check over the orders to make sure everything's right. That way I can see if there's an issue with an item and put in for a return or an exchange right then and there. So that way the customer is not getting it and then coming back to me when they have time and saying, hey, I need to return this. That way I'm catching any boo-boos up front. I've only had maybe 2 or 3 boo-boos since I've started. So, I mean, it happens. It's human error. So it's not that big a deal, but you want to make sure that you're taking care of it right when it happens. So now we'll change that to consultant. Now the tax rate is going to be your tax rate. Now if the consultant is in a different state, you're going to want to make sure that she's charging her local tax rate on that, not your tax rate. Then show on your website, you want to make sure that this box is always clicked, because in that way it filters over to your website and you can see it. And then I'll show you on my website here in a few minutes. And then the party link, the party information right here is just everything we entered previously. And the party link, this is what you're going to give to your consultant. This is what, if it's an online party, you're going to do that. You're going to put it on the Facebook page. It's just a link directly to Heather's party or your hostess's party. So this is going to be a direct link, so they don't have to go under my parties and then search for your party. This is a direct link for your hostess's party. So you want to make sure that she is always handing out this one right here. She can hand out the other one directly from just hand them your website, and then they can go to under my parties under your picture and then do it that way. However, I always like to do this because it takes them directly to that hostess's party page. The save and update button, that is if you make any changes up here, like we changed that to consultant. Just say, well, maybe she did have a home party and maybe she decided, well, wait a minute, I don't have enough time, something changed, I'm just going to have a catalog party. Anytime that happens, you'll just come here to the party defaults, and then you'll just come down here and click save and update. And right here it says gives you a little warning, by changing the shipping to the hostess or consultant, taxes may recalculate. Be sure to review the orders and payments before submitting the party. Since we don't have any orders, we're not going to worry about that, but that's just in case if it was mid, like she said, oh no, I'm going to go out, I'm going to be out of town, I'm not going to be here when my party closes. That way it would ship all to you. Then also over here is the hostess tab under about. Now this is our hostess's information. We have her first name and her last name, her email, use consultant. You can use this if they don't have email. You can make any changes. Under here it says show hostess's address to the customers. I don't do that. That's up to the hostess if she wants to share her address with her guests. That is not up to me. So I always make sure that button is not clicked. Now here is the hostess portal. Okay, I send this in an email to all my hostesses, and this gives them like a little place to go to get some insights. And I'm going to copy this link because I have to actually be out of virtual office in order to go here, so we'll go here later. But let me write this password down so I can get in, and I'll show you later how to do that. Why? Okay. So anytime you're ready to go ahead and send that to your hostess, you can click on the send button, and that's going to send her an email. Now my email may pop up here in a minute, and I can show you when it does what the email looks like coming from the 31 from your website. So coming back up here under invitations, oh, we forgot to save because we unclicked something, and it will give you a warning if you change something. It'll be like, wait a minute, you changed something. So under invitations, I know some consultants like to do the invites for their customers. I know a lot of other direct sales companies prefer the hostesses to send the address to all of the hostess to send all the emails of the people she's going to invite to the consultant and do it that way. I don't do it that way. I know when I did parties, when I hosted parties, I just didn't like giving out my friends' information. So I always leave it up to the hostess to do it. But you feel free to do it that way. If you're able to do that, you can enter all the information here. They give you a couple of templates. I don't know why that one's not working. They give you a couple of templates to work with. And you just pick one. Let's say we're going to pick Summer 17 Guide. And down here it tells us, when the party is. We can put a subject line because it's got a star next to it. So we're going to go party with me. Oops. Okay, and then we're going to put in here, I couldn't think of a better way to tell you, so please come to my party. You can be more creative than that. So this is just for an example. So down here we would save the details. Okay. So those are saved. And now up here you can preview the invitation. So this is what it's going to look like. This is what your guests, your hostess's guests would get in the mail, or in their email. And this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to say. And then it's going to say RSVP today, or you can shop now. So that's one way to get people excited about your friends or your hostess's upcoming party. And then under guest list, you can enter everybody's email. Again, you can import guests. If you're going to import, have her send it to you in an Excel sheet. That way it's a lot easier to upload. Or you can add the guest individually with their name, address, email, phone number, etc. I always just have, when I do parties, I always just ask people to RSVP to the party, because I usually do a check-in, bonus or a check-in game. And then so I always have them RSVP, and I put down the link that we saw previously, the party link. And then when they RSVP, that information is already there. And it's up to them to actually put it in instead of, running into the, oh, why'd you give my email out, kind of thing. So I always just ask to RSVP, and I do a little game with it, a little giveaway game. So, but that's just how that works. And then let's go back to our parties. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. My computer's running slow today. Maybe it's because I got tons of windows open. Okay. Alright, so the next tab is going to be orders. Okay, and now this is where all your orders are going to show up as they're coming in or as you're entering them. You can click on here and add a new order. or they'll come in if they come in via the website, or her personal link. All the orders for that will come in. And up here is going to be the hostess's credits. As the orders come in, this is going to change once she gets closer to rewards level. If it's, a $200 party, she gets $25 in credit.